Hey everybody, welcome to Bright Guy's Garage. Today we are working on the cowl side. This is the after, of course, because I forgot to film an intro. So, future. Now we're going to get into the past. Don't forget to hit subscribe. It's completely free and it helps the channel out significantly. Smash the like button. And don't forget to leave a comment. Tell me what you think of the build so far. Tell me what you'd like to see, because it all needs to be done. But for now, let's get into it. Okay. All right. 8 pillars completely removed. Firewall side completely removed. There's some patches on the nose of the rocker panel. I think I'm going to remove it and repair it. I'll do that, I guess, on a separate video. For now, we'll finish. Now that this is off, I've already mangled my cut I scribed, so I'll have to install that. Install the little strip I cut off on the bottom, and then patch this area somehow. I should be, yeah, like up to here, just a little strip to replace this extra pitted that's just going to turn into holes eventually. And then this panel is ready. Shouldn't be too bad. All right, I got the patch clamped into place. I'm just going to give it a couple tacks, at least one at the beginning, and get rid of the clamp. Move myself up the side here. I'd like to get this seam in place, and then I'll use the saw to cut this edge to weld it. A little temporary tack there. Okay, that looks good. Maybe we'll get another temporary tack right here. Okay, here we are with this cowl side for the first test fit. The only thing I've done is fix this this little triangular piece that I forgot to include in the, you know, extension bit on the end here, or whatever you want to call it, patch. So what's left is the strip along the bottom, then the removal of what's left of this flange, and grind down these super chunky welds. That'll be fun. And then I'm going to replace a strip in the middle of here. It's just where it's heavily pitted, and there's even some holes. Plus, whatever other damage I do trying to get this crap off, I'll sleep better at night knowing that I've patched in these heavy pits are eventually going to be holes. Hopefully not, but doesn't matter because I'm going to replace it. Okay, to start off, I've got this strip that was left over from making the little extension piece on the front side of the cowl side. I think we can reuse this for the bottom strip. If I flatten this back out, let's start there. Should be good enough. This back over, I forgot to measure it. Get it in there where it looks good, and trim it later. I mean, it sounds like a good enough plan to me. Okay. Clean up the edges here. Okay. Just okay. Moved. We'll guess. Watch the magic happen. This shear is such a great addition to sheet metal manufacturing of any kind, I would say. If you have the budget to buy one, the actual Beverly shears are somewhat expensive. This one I actually found at what I would say is a more than reasonable price, especially for how well it's worked for me. Like no regrets buying this this shear. It's a throatless shear. I did get it from Amazon. I 100% can't remember the seller, but I believe it was around the $250 Canadian dollars mark, which even a used Beverly shear you can't really get, or maybe you can find one for that cheap, but usually you can't even find a used Beverly shear for that price. It's highly recommended. I will post a link in below. I will only ever post links to things that I've actually tried and trust. This is one of them. I'll put the link in below. I do get a small, very small commission from Amazon. It will at no cost to you whatsoever. Check it out if you're interested. Highly recommend it. Moving on. I just made that cut. And I did bugger the cut up a little bit, but that's good. I may not even have to use a grinder. Okay, I think we'll tack this into place and then measure the strip that we're going to replace. I may strategically make this strip so I don't have to grind this crappy weld off. Save me a lot of time, and it's getting welded anyway, so let's get the welder. Okay, I found a leftover piece from who knows what. I have scribed my rectangular patch, and now we will cut it off on the throatless shear. So, why a throatless shear? Some of you may be asking, what's the big deal? You can buy those straight edge ones for super cheap everywhere. You can get them at Harbor Freight. In Canada, you can get them at Princess Auto. Greatest advantage of a throatless shear, let me see if I can find a piece of scrap to demonstrate. This arc was actually cut with this shear, and that's the biggest advantage, is you can, because the back is clear, throatless, you can actually cut around. You can cut semicircles. You may not be here. Let me move you. You're not seeing the action side. The action side's back here, where it has that room to go around. And then you can cut. Oops. You can cut around. There may be, I haven't found it yet, and how tight of a corner you can go. You can go tighter than that, of course. But yes, one of the main reasons why you need a throatless shear. If you don't got one, get one. Now let's scribe this this piece that we've cut onto the dowel side. We'll give it a rough scribe right now. Looks good. We'll just give it a quick, this isn't for accuracy, this is just for general fitment. That was actually impressive. This one spot was actually 2 layers. I'm not even certain if this is I'm replacing it with 18 gauge. I don't even know if this is 18 gauge, but that's 2 layers of 18 gauge. And this thing cut it. Like, it took a little bit of force, but not a lot of force. That was awesome. Let's do it again. That was pretty much like butter. Okay, we'll just use the cutoff to get this last little bit off. I didn't cut it exactly straight in the back here. It needs to be straightened out, and even more so on this side, but I'll get this side straight, then we'll line it up, and then I undercut it on purpose so I would have to trim no matter what. And it's a good thing I did, because I went off course by a fair amount over here, and it looks like once I get this straightened up, it'll actually cover it. You can scribe a new line and cut it to fit. All right, let's line this up best we can. Scribe it to try to get a straight cut. That looks pretty good. So let's just deliver. Okay, this is the heavy chunks off. The rest we'll just use a grinder. Straighten it out. Do a check. See if we're still on track. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's real good. Just a little bit in one area. Okay. Let's tack it up. So good. Just do a quick tack. One off course a little bit, so before we do go too far, Okay, that fought me a little bit, but that's in place. The only thing I forgot was to remove the little piece of flange, but I've got it, and I will remove it. Next, however, before removing it, and before welding this permanently in place, I'm gonna measure out the bottom for the little extra piece. It's approximately 1 inch along the bottom. I've got my piece I showed you earlier. I'm just gonna weld it up, and we will take a measurement that hopefully will be good enough, and cut it. I think we did that. We just gotta trim it up. I think we did that already, didn't we? I'm looking at it and it's lining up pretty good. So I clearly forgot what I've been doing today. So some strategic grinding on the edge, and this is gonna fit. This is best news all day so far. So let's do that. You probably can't see, but I'm about to start grinding. Okay, we got that patch to fit, and this here, I've bent it around so much, it's clearly like it flip-flops. I don't know if, like, hopefully you can see that on camera, but it's flipping and flopping. So this little area is stretched, so it clearly needs to be shrunk down. So we'll use the kick shrinker just to sort of bring this back, hopefully. Move you over so you can see the old kick shrinker here. All right. Oops. I missed. It slipped out and I shrunk the edge a couple times. I got this crazy, like, why? This is what happens when you're in a hurry, not paying attention. Now I gotta go back and stretch some of it out. And put you back here. Hopefully you can still see the stretchers on the other side here. Oh, yeah. Okay. Just another day here at Brad Guy's Garage. You know, these things happen. Now what I've done is broken it completely, so we're just going to cut it right off. Well, you know, souvenir of the day. This piece we made, can you see this? Is it better? This piece we made will still fit. So let's tack this sucker in. It may not be necessary to add a piece to that, but maybe we will, just because. I mean, like look at how small that is. Like, is it really necessary? I don't know. Let's get this in place and we'll decide as we go. Missed. Barely. Okay. Alright, we're in good shape. That went a little bit better. We just got to trim off the bottom now. Straighten out my chisel area. Now this flange at the top. I do have that over here. I did make it. It's just like roughed so far. Maybe. Okay, let's trim the bottom down so we can clamp it into place, and then we can make sure this fits like it's supposed to. What I did off camera was just somewhat line it up. It's kind of a guesstimate, but made a guesstimate measurement, scribed it out. It doesn't go all the way across. We'll see how it fits before cutting too much, but this should get it into place pretty close to where it was before. So let's cut this out. Fit it for real. good. The edge curl a little on me, so turn that back out. Alright, let's see how we did. That's pretty darn close. I know you're not getting a good view here. Let me get you down here. That's better. Okay, so these holes and these spots line up, so I got a little bit of a witness mark as far as lining it up to where it used to be. That's looking surprisingly good. I think just in this area, and while I got on there, I'll mark it out. Just in this area right here, I'll take the grinder maybe a smidge off the end, just a little bit with the grinder, and just because it's a little too tight at the bottom here, but I mean, it's the first time I've been lucky all day. I don't know if you guys can hear that welder, it's really annoying. I'm gonna fix the fan on it. The welder's like 40 years old, so, and it's never broke down and never really been maintained essentially, but alright. I guess you can't see what I'm doing, can you? You can see the areas I gotta concentrate on here and here. Just a little bit. Yeah. That's what we wanted. It's still nice and tight down at the bottom, but I mean, it's fine. We'll leave it like that. That is exactly where we're gonna weld it in place. But not yet. I do still have to remove this strip I keep forgetting about. And flange. That was supposed to be next. But now that it's clamped into place in its permanent spot, we can do that. So let's get this, let's unclico this cowl patch off and see what we can do with that. All right, let's start it. Set that aside. This is my chisel holding this up. I think, if I remember, I cut this a little long. Alright. See what other pieces I kept. Oh yeah. Just sort of hammered this somewhat back into place so we can mock it up into place. All right, there we go. Now that we got this back in place, it reminds me there's one more piece I gotta make. This piece, which will be after the fact, but like after this. Alright, I didn't exactly put any witness marks on this thing so I can duplicate it every time, which is probably a mistake. Let's do that now. If I can do this without fumbling around 1,000 times. Do it, don't redo it. Should get me close. Ah. Yep. I'm liking it. I am liking it. Let me bring you in for a close-up. Okay, you can see one of my witness marks here. And here, hopefully you can see both sides. It's a Sharpie witness mark, but it did the trick. There's one here as well. This area is where it's, you know, actually cut lines up. This will have to do some trimming. Maybe we'll trim this to where the actual marks are, just to maybe round off the edges to make it look like, you know, like it was supposed to be there. And welded in place. I think that's going to be an excellent patch. Okay, I trimmed this down. Now I'm just going to grind it down in a couple spots where I can still see my line, and round a couple of these edges off a little bit to make it look like it's like it was originally there. Kidding me? Huh. Like, what are the odds? Okay. All right, let's get this clamped into place so we can finally weld this together. This is the last piece for the cowl side. Luckily, I still have a hint of where my witness marks. Even though I took the grinder to the side, I can still see the marks. Well, to start off, I drilled a couple holes for how we can spot these two together. And then hopefully, if it works out right, I grind it down, it'll actually look like spot welds. So let's start there. Okay, not bad. Get this close as I can. You're never gonna see it, so it's off. It's off, but I always like to try, right? Okay, work. All right. So a little bit of shrinkage happening. It's kind of to be expected. Good. Good. This top piece here, my plan was to use the saw to just trim off this and just settle back up. Almost there. Okay. Yeah. Beautiful. Keep going. Find my. Keep on talking until it's nothing but talking. Come on. Almost there. Okay. Yeah. Beautiful. Going over, making sure I didn't miss any spots, which I did. There's another one. Would it be the end of the world? No. But when you grind this all smooth, you don't want it to be all blotchy like this. I got a couple spots of porosity to go over those. That's pretty good. Here, let's get the wire brush. I'll give you a close up. This is what we got. Tocks ended up looking good. These guys are pretty good. I got some porosity here. I'm pretty sure that's because I got dirt. I think I had some greasy, dirty metal that was screwing up the gas, contaminating the weld, but it's looks like it's sealed pretty good. Let's see what the, oh yeah, hopefully you can see that, but good penetration, so there's no worries there. Okay, so Finally. All right, that wraps up the cowl side repair. It took a while to fit, weld, and grind, but I'm happy with the way it turned out. There's still a lot more work going forward. The lower cowl needs a little bit more repair. The transition into the upper A-pillar needs to be repaired, and rebuilding the A-pillar itself also coming up on the next video. If you want to support the channel, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you're notified when the next video comes out, and I posted a couple links down below if you want to support the channel even further. I really appreciate you guys sticking around this long, and I will see you on the next one.